Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be talking about something maybe everybody saw coming. It's kind of a big deal right now, but let's talk about what's happening with this current sort of UTV crash going on. Hey, listen, if you like the content, please make sure to subscribe. Growing this channel, it's a new one. We have a lot of adventures out there, a lot of good information, a lot of fixes and repairs. Stay tuned for product reviews and things like that. We just want you to be part of the community. We're happy to have you here. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock in this industry, it has been growing like crazy. The last 2 years have been absolutely out of control as far as the growth in the sport side-by-side market. Now, for a lot of us, especially probably the people who are watching YouTube videos and things like that, we've been in it for a while. A lot of newcomers into the sport. Okay, so let me tell you a story real quick so that we can kind of feed into this. I used to have a 2014 Wildcat 1000X, right? I know, not a great machine, but hey, when that thing came out, it was competitive with the Razors that were out there and even the Can-Ams at the time. Everything kind of changed and they stayed back behind, and that machine was just completely, totally a disaster after what I put it through. Now here's the thing, those really didn't have a whole lot of value, and when I bought it, it was not a very expensive unit. But last year, I finally decided to let it go, move up into the Can-Am that I always wanted, and I was able to sell that thing for more than I paid for it, which was an absolute shocker. Now, the beauty was, kind of the rest of it hadn't totally caught up yet, so I bought my Can-Am, made a great deal on that before everything went sky high, and obviously that was not an apples to apples situation, but it worked out really well for me. Well, move forward another few months, all of these manufacturing delays started to happen, and that basically made people have to wait 8, 9, 10 months before they could get their new machine. That made the used market look really, really good, and everything inflated, just like homes and groceries and everything else. It seems as though now the tide has absolutely turned. If you didn't get in on selling yours in the last few months, you're definitely not gonna get out of it what you could have back at the beginning of the summer. And that's okay, it's kind of just a numbers game, right? All of the production is starting to catch up, and we're seeing now there be a bit of an over inventory of new machines. I know that at a local dealer here, they had like 15 delivered one day, where they were on this really slow allotment. All of a sudden, all these Can-Ams started to show up, semi-load after semi-load, as we're coming into the end of the year. Did production catch up? Apparently, or maybe it was just shipping delays. Could have been anything. In my business that I'm involved in, we dealt with some of that stuff, but it wasn't to this extent. Now here's the other thing. I think an awful lot of people jumped into this just because they had maybe COVID stimulus money, quite possible. Maybe they were sitting around a bit more, that kind of thing. Decided to get the family out of the house. That made trailers sales go through the roof. Obviously the UTVs, motorhomes, you name it. All of these sort of outdoor luxury items just went crazy, and they were really hard to find. Well, you know what else happened? All the trails got packed out. All the good camping places got packed out. People discovered areas that we'd been going to for years, and that honestly really sucked. Now, I noticed a change in that a bit this year, where there were less and less people getting out because, hey, at some point, everybody has to go back to work, right? So now here we are, we're coming into 2023. There's new pieces of equipment on the horizon, not a whole lot of changes for the 2023 season, and the prices on those new units have gone up, and they continue to go up. And part of that, I suppose, is just general inflation. You know, part of that is just the expense of the steel. Part of that is the shipping, the labor shortage. I mean, you name it. But it's going to cause a problem. The rising interest rates are definitely starting to weigh on people. People who have leveraged their homes, that is all starting to weigh on why do we have this extra luxury item. So this may be one of those golden opportunities over the next few months, maybe the next 6 months, to be able to go buy some pretty killer, highly upgraded used machines. Take a look at this one I saw. This was posted in one of the groups that I'm involved in, and I had seen this on my local classifieds website, and honestly, I'm looking for a 2-seater XRC for next year. Kind of add it to the flock because, hey, it's a hell of a rock crawler, but I've been waiting, and I've been waiting because those things were selling from anywhere between like $35,000 and $39,000 here locally this summer. Well, now they're getting back down there. There's a few in the low 30s now at this point, but they're starting to branch into the 20s. This one's down to 25. I've seen some higher mileage units that could be a little bit sketchy, even under 20,000. So it's starting to get back into a, my dollar is gonna go an awful lot further. But what does this really hold for the future? Honestly, I don't think the industry is in any sort of trouble. If you take a look at sort of the whole thing, automotive that was charging way above MSRP, adding dealer fees, that's gonna end up biting them in the ass as we go forward. I believe that we're going to come into a time where there is an overstock of inventory and we're gonna start seeing 0% on new equipment. I think it's coming. The economic winds are blowing that way. Even while we're seeing everything rise up and get higher and higher on the interest side, once we get flooded with inventory, prices have to go down. That's just supply and demand. And that's also what's happening on the used UTV market right now. So if you've been waiting, maybe waiting to upgrade your machine, maybe add another one to your quiver, maybe put another one into the family, this could be, again, the golden opportunity. But I wouldn't worry too much. This industry is gonna keep going, and why shouldn't it? It's one of the most fun things that anybody can do out there. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys real soon.